What up, y'all? What up, everybody? How we doing? What up, Athena? Is Jeekin time? Ace Thunder? Yeah, March really flew by for me. Cell device was good. Was good, chums. Was good, Burgundy. Burgundy. How you doing, man? How you doing? What are you up to, dude? What? Here, what go? See, now you done piss me off, Burgundy. Get out of here. I'm done with you. No, Kill Bill is unfortunately still one of those movies. Wait, what do you mean by that? Y'all want to know what's crazy? No, y'all want to know what's crazy? I haven't. You know what's crazy? I haven't watched Kill Bill. What something I was thinking about earlier today, uh, on that topic is um being a movie person is low key the most alienating hobby you cannot be into. Like not being a movie person will leave you out of so many conversations. Like people be making references to shit like Forrest Gump, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just if you name a movie, I probably haven't seen it. Like there's a 90% chance if you name a movie, I haven't seen it. March has literally, yeah, March really flew by, Sora. What up, by the way? Flector, what's good, bro? March felt shorter than it was actually. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, wait. Oh, there. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, I think I would like Kill Bill. There was a little era where it felt like everybody was like being really influenced by Kill Bill. It was Flector's birthday. Flector. What are we yapping about today, Raven? What are we yapping about? What has gone on? What has happened this week? What has happened this week? We got a couple. It's been kind of quiet. At this point, layoffs just don't even feel like news anymore. Layoffs just feel like, oh yeah, that's just that's just gaming now. It was Burgundy. It was your birthday a few days ago, man. Dude, why are you trying to take his shine? Now it was your birthday. Like Flector said it was his birthday. Now Burgundy wants to be like, "Oh, it was my birthday too." Wow, okay, cool. All right, like bro, let Flector have his little moment, bro. Let Flector have his See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean by like Burgundy just like frame one just be pissing me off the time he comes into the chat. His rage baiting no longer has it. I'm gonna get you. Nah. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna catch you off guard, Burgundy, because I can't make it too obvious. Nintendo announced their Nintendo announced their digital games will be cheaper. Okay, here, let me talk about that real quick. Um, I was a little bit confused about when that news got announced, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, like this is bad news." I was like, I thought everybody was asking for digital games to be cheaper this entire time. Like that's what I was under the impression Like that's the impression I've had like all these years. Everybody was like, "Oh, digital doesn't cost y'all anything to make, so it should technically be cheaper." Wasn't that what all of us were saying? Am I tripping? Heavy Wings, what's up? Oh, Heavy Wings, because you replied to this. We're talking about because I was confused about when Nintendo announced that digital games are going to be cheaper, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is a bad thing." And I thought that all these years, everybody was saying that digital games should be cheaper because they don't cost anything to make like physical games do. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing like, oh, this is actually a bad thing because it's gonna like kill physical. I don't know anymore, man. Like one thing I'm learning about the internet lately is that every opinion exists. Like you can find every opinion on the internet. So I'm just kind of confused now. I'm just like, I don't know what, I don't know. Athena, nah, that was a very popular take. Yeah, that's what I thought. Digital movies are cheaper than Blu-rays. Yeah, wow, thank you. Good point. The reason games aren't cheaper is because retailers would have been mad at the price. Yeah, yeah, I'm aware of that. Um, that part of it, Heavy Wings. I'm just confused about why people are upset about this. People take the option select to say, "Oh, digital games aren't cheaper; physical games are just more expensive." Yeah, that feels like a that's too cynical for me. That's too cynical for me. That's a step too far. That's just a step too far. I'm fine with like being cynical about corporations, but that's just like reaching for something. That just feels like reaching for something. Like when there's nothing there yet, you know. Okay, you want to know my take on the Goomba fallacy thing? I think okay. You know why sometimes I don't like the whole Goomba fallacy concept? Because if y'all don't know, Goomba fallacy is basically when people say that um they see an opinion on the internet and then they see another opinion on the internet and they try to make it seem like yeah, that's what I'm explaining now, Raven, because I know everybody doesn't know. It's kind of a recent thing actually. But let me give an example so y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's say somebody says like man, like uh let me think about it. Let me think about it. Let me think of a good example. Okay, let's say Xenoblade X comes out, right? And people are like, "Oh wow, now y'all like Xenoblade X." When back then y'all were bashing Xenoblade X. A Goomba fallacy would be someone explaining the Goomba fallacy will be like, "No, those are different people. Like those opinions aren't the same person. These are like two different opinions that you're trying to combine into one person." Right? But here's my thing. Here's kind of what I'm trying to say about this. I think sometimes even if you weren't the same person making a certain opinion, you would have been the same person based on like your general attitudes and your general like opinion on things in general. You would have been that person back then. So easy, kind of a more abstract example of what I'm talking about here is like Nintendo and Virtual Console, and how some people are like, wow, we should bring Virtual Console back. Like, why don't we bring back Virtual Console? Nintendo is fucking up. Like they're not this NSO subscription thing is ass. Like what? But if you're the type of person to complain about like this right now, you would have been the same person complaining about the prices of Virtual Console back then, because you're just generally somebody who complains. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I think sometimes people are being like really dishonest about like how what you complain about depends on what's happening, like what's the popular thing to complain about at the time. I don't know. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Y'all, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, if it was popular to complain about back then, that's what you would have been complaining about. You know? So it's kind of, it just feels dishonest to me. You know, it feels like, okay, maybe you weren't the same person, but you would have been the same person, probably, you know. It's just that you didn't have that thing to complain about back then. Like, that wasn't an option for something for you to complain about. But I don't know. It's like it's so theoretical that it's like not something you can prove, but it's kind of one of those things that's like, I don't know. It's also similar to like how people hype up the Wii U, right? How people are like, oh, the Wii U like was underrated, or like this is when Nintendo had soul and da 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 da. But you didn't hear anybody saying that back then. Like, you didn't, even people who owned the Wii U weren't saying that back then. So some of y'all are the same people. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, yeah, I don't know. But whatever. Whatever, dude. Goomba fallacy, I guess. Y'all aren't the same people. Yeah, that's true too, Burgundy. For me, it's partially that, and partially people trying to work their way out of stances they've held to suggest you're not on point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You ever see those news reels about parents complaining about needing to buy a Super Nintendo to play the new game? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember. I've seen those. I've seen those. What up, Venom? A Thursday stream? Yeah. By the way, I'm doing a stream today because I'm going to a concert tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna see Rochelle Jordan. She's coming to Atlanta, so I'm excited for that. So I decided I'm gonna do a stream today. I don't think physical games are gonna become any more expensive than they already have. I don't think there's any hidden agenda. And also, people are acting like Nintendo doesn't have a history of doing these kind of like pushes towards to put these kind of moves to push people towards digital. Like, this is pretty much like the voucher thing, right? Like, it's just a different version of like what they were doing with the game vouchers during the Switch 1 generation. So it's not like this is like out of character for Nintendo. Like, they've done stuff like this before. Um I don't know. So I'm not seeing the hidden agenda here. Ooh, Burgundy. On that point of like, I didn't mean that. What I actually meant was thing they didn't say. You know what I really hate? I hate when people do this thing where like you'll say that you'll for example you'll say that like people, let's say a game has like a female protagonist, and then people start calling, oh, this is woke, this is woke, this is woke, and then you'll say like, wow, why are people calling this woke just because it has a female protagonist? And then some people will come out of nowhere and say like, no, people aren't saying it's woke because it has a female protagonist. They're saying it's woke because it's made by this specific company that did these things that da 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 da. They have like some kind of extra explanation, and it's like, no, you're saying that. The people, everybody else is just saying it, because don't try to like add in a new point that those people aren't saying. Everybody else is saying there is woke just because it has a female protagonist. You're adding in this extra shit to make it seem like a deeper point than it actually is. That's what you're saying. That's not what they're saying. I hate when people do that shit, bro. I hate when people do that shit. Don't try to like add extra in-depth points to what the dumbasses are saying. You know, you're making up a whole new thing. Like, no. That's what people did with that fucking that heist game, that relooted game, where people were like, oh no, we're calling this woke because it's made by Sweet Baby Inc. No, that's not why you're calling it woke. You're calling it woke because it has a black guy. That's what everybody else is saying. You're trying to make it deep. But the people that are behind you, they're not thinking about it that deep. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit. Don't do that. They be trying to play those little rhetorical games. I'm too smart for that. No. Yes, thank you, Bergen. They be adding the goodwill and nuance to like, nah, nah. I need to, yeah, man. I don't know. That shit be so fucking annoying, bro. I'm like, bruh. So I don't be like, so I don't argue on the internet no more, man. So I don't argue on the internet no more. And when people are mad at me these days, my new line is, "You're gonna forget about me tomorrow." So don't, it's not a big deal, man. I'm not that important. You're gonna forget about me tomorrow, you know. So be mad all you want. This isn't gonna have an impact on the rest of your week. Well, some people still don't forget me. Y'all know I get hate emails now. Not email. Well, okay, I'll say this. I've gotten one hate email, and I've had like, I don't know if it was the same person, but like I had a hate account. Like somebody like had a hate account towards me. Yeah, man. I think it was the same person because I didn't find out about the hate account until I got the hate email. So I was like, this is weird. So like I saw the hate email and then I searched my name to see like who the fuck is like following me this closely to be sending like hate email. And then I found a hate account. I'm like, I'm sure this got to be the same person. I'm not that like I'm not that important, bro. Said congrats. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that shit is weird. That is weird, man. And the interesting thing too, man, is like I'm not like I'm not like a provocative person. A hate account is crazy. Like, yeah, a hate account is crazy. Maybe they're watching this. I don't know. If you're watching this and you show yourself, I'll give you $10. Hate account. Unrelated because of the poster behind you. I've been addicted to Xenoblade X. Nothing else even exists to me at this point. Yeah, bruh. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, what is going on? There we go. Let's go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that like says shit to be controversial and all that. I'm not one of those people. So, what up J2 Blue? One thing that I do find interesting though is that some people view me that way until they talk to me. And then they're like, "Wait, I thought you were like a." I'm like, why are y'all thinking that about? Why are you thinking that about? I don't know what I'm saying that like is making that come across, and then people either follow me longer or I don't know, see a video or whatever. I don't know what they see that they're like, wait a minute, you're not like you're not what I thought you were. I thought you were like something else. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are seeing, to be honest. Cause I'm not one of those people. Like you can talk if you talk to me normal, or if you disagree with me and you don't throw insults, or you don't like, you're not disrespectful, I'm gonna just be like, oh, okay, cool. I see where you're coming from. And people are like, huh? So you're not gonna fight me? You're not gonna? No, no, no. I get it. We just disagree. It's cool. And they're shocked. I'm like, what did y'all think? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. It's whatever. I guess that's maybe, or maybe that's just like what people are used to from like accounts with any kind of like moderate amount of attention. Maybe that's just like the default assumption that you're like antagonistic. I don't know. Probably one of your it's Twitter brain. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's the aggression filter of Twitter. I'll tell you from my perspective on Twitter. What up? Thanks for the resub, fake Hawaiian. Yeah, I do be having a lot of opinions. I will say that. I will say that, Frostnix. I do be having a lot of opinions. I have a lot of opinions, but I'm not opinionated, I guess is what I mean. So I'm not like super um combative about my opinions. Like if you don't agree, I'm not about to like, I'm not somebody who wants to convince people of anything. That's not really my thing. I say what I say, and it's like, oh yeah, that's just how I feel. But if you don't feel the same, I'm not here to like convert you or nothing. That's not really my goal. My goal is to explain the reason I feel the way I feel about things, and then that's it. That's it. If that's all I'm trying to do. If you've talked to me, you know I'm not somebody who's trying to convince nobody of nothing. Bruh, these gas prices are crazy, Flector. Jalen. Yeah, I'm very direct too. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm pretty direct. I will say that. They think, like I said, there's an invisible like, and fuck everybody who doesn't feel the same after like an invisible thing that people add to the end of my tweets because they're so, I guess, like, you know. But it's the character limit. You gotta be, to be clear, you gotta be a bit direct with that character limit. Man, they gonna be waiting forever for me to get canceled. That's never gonna happen. I don't do nothing, bro. I don't be doing nothing. They gonna be waiting forever. If I ever blow up for real on YouTube, like, and when I say blow up, I mean like 100,000. Like if I get to that level, the advantage I will have over every YouTuber is that I do not have nothing scandalous going on in my life, and probably never, not even probably, I will never have anything scandalous going on in my life because that's not, that type of shit doesn't really interest me. You know, I don't drink. I'm a monogamous head ass guy. You know, like I don't be doing weird shit. I like grown women. you know, like, yeah, I don't know that, like, there's nothing you can really. It's nothing. It's nothing going on. A lot of people on the internet always have this gotcha mentality. Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, what we talked about the Nintendo thing. What else happened this week? Oh, um, what else happened this week? Right, heavy wings. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen that quote, but that sounds, that's, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shorts. What do you mean the weird cadence I hear in so many gaming shorts? I don't know what you mean. But I probably won't do shorts. I don't even have time. Oh yeah, boost mode. Has any I haven't even tried that out for the Switch games. Donald Glover is Yoshi. Yeah, good for him. Good for him. Is it possible to make good for you sound like non-sarcastic? Good for you always sounds like you're not actually like happy for the person. Fox McCloud. Y'all, I saw people upset. They said that Fox being in the Mario movie is a spoiler. I'm probably not gonna watch the Mario movie, but that does sound hype. But if they ever do make a Smash Brothers movie, bruh, I am watching. I am watching that shit, and I'm not even like a movie person for real, and I will watch that shit instantly. Boost mode is a game changer for Xenoblade, honestly. I imagine, man, especially Xenoblade 2. There was a fake tweet saying Fox McCloud was being played by Gibbs, and it almost got me. Yo, that would be hilarious. Freddie Gibbs. Imagine Freddie Gibbs like. Imagine Fox rapping bars. Wait, hold up. Oh, let me think of something. Uh, you going wait? You gonna need to do a barrel roll when I roll up with the barrel. Woo! Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look, that's crazy. Y'all not giving me enough energy. That was crazy. I always thought of Fox as a Jersey hoodlum. Man, y'all want to know something? Because I saw some people saying they want a Star Fox game, but I'm seeing a bunch of people, and this kind of annoys me. It's gonna get into a like gaming culture conversation. Athena said, "Thought your girl was slippy the way she went. I'm hit, bruh. Boo, boo, boo." No, but I saw some people say they want a new Star Fox game, and one thing that kind of like bugged me about some of the things I've been saying, hearing or seeing people say about wanting a Star Fox game, is that they're like, oh, but it can't just be like a regular rail shooter. It has to be like you have to be able to explore and like go around the world and like walk around and all the it has to be like a full on adventure game. It can't just be a rail shooter. Oh my god, bro. Like, and look, if I'm not against that, I'm not against them doing that, but my gosh, do y'all just want every game to just do y'all want every game to meld into like just one genre? Y'all just want one genre to exist. Third person, walk around the world, like thing, and then action gaming, and that's it. Nothing else. Like I've even seen a few people say this about like if they brought F Zero back, We would need Captain Falcon to be able to get out of the race car and like walk around and do stuff and Falcon punch and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, why can't it just be an F-Zero game? Why can't it just be a racing game? Okay, low key, they kind of right this time about doing something different because half the Star Fox franchise is literally the same game 4 times. The same game, but okay, it can do something different. It can still be a rail shooter and do something different though. Like this is like assuming that rail shooters can't evolve and like do different things and add different routes or like um different aesthetics, like different mechanics. Like rail shooters can do like it's not like Sin and Punishment is the same as Star Fox, right? These are like both rail shooters, but these are like totally different games. They have different mechanics and different approaches. So it's not like even within the rail shooter genre that like all of these games are like the same, right? Yeah, exactly. Frostnik's new vehicles. Star Fox should be open world, and yeah, you could get out the R ring and see a river, and the water is super. Yeah, it's just it's like I don't know. And they've tried that before, and it's been fine, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Burgundy, there should be RPG mechanics. Yo, and what's crazy is that new Nintendo would probably do that, unfortunately. Cause now new Nintendo has like these young developers and like now I don't know. They're kind of adding in all these things into these games. It's like, okay, I guess that's what games are to the new generation, I guess. You know. So I would not be surprised if like a new Star Fox has RPG elements and all this other stuff. I would not be surprised. A hub world would be cool, Flector. A hub world would be cool. That's not a problem. That's more like just like presentation stuff. That's more like presentation stuff. That's cool. But I'm talking about people who want the F-Zero game to just be like you're Captain Falcon and you're punching dudes and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. Mind you, again, I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I don't know. I don't like this idea that like for a genre to certain genres just can't exist anymore because now we need everything to become like this third person walk around explore thing. I just don't like that sentiment. That bothers me a little bit. Star Fox 64 on 3DS had a face cam where you could see each other's faces. I vaguely remember that. That's kind of funny. Forgot about that. Yeah, we were talking about that we're talking about that on Discord, Verum. But yeah, like the that's my main thing with Star Fox is that I want it to be more difficult because going back to those games and even playing like Star Fox Zero somewhat recently, the games feel kind of like almost like a theme park. Like it feels very okay, a cruise control. Not saying they're like piss easy, but compared to something like Sin and Punishment, I don't feel any punishment really. I will say after Prime 4, I think people are less keen on making a game open world. Oh, I feel that fatigue coming. I feel that fatigue coming. Heavy Wings, that's another thing. Esoteric requirements for unlocking different routes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Star Fox 64 had some different routes. And I think I didn't play Zero enough. I don't know if Zero had different routes, but I know 64 did. Um but yeah, I do feel that open world fatigue coming setting in. And um Flector said, "I'm sorry, but I just hate open worlds." I get it. I get it. I'm not even somebody who hates open worlds, but this new thought I've been having recently about like this homogenization that's going on with games right now, where like games are slowly like morphing into this like singular genre thing, and the only differences now are starting to become, not the only, and we're not there yet, but what I'm saying is like it sometimes feels like we're headed towards this like hive situation with games where like, okay, every game is kind of generally just the same genre, but like you're just swapping out aesthetics. And I kind of, that's scary. That's a scary thought. Like when we're looking at like this, popularity of like roguelikes and RPG elements and open world and like the third person perspective and like all these kind of things, like, oh, this has to be in every game now. And it's like, oh man, that's, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Even like current Nintendo like frustrates me a bit. Like in terms of their games. I like the Switch too, but I'm talking about the games they've been making recently. I still haven't gotten further in Metroid Prime 4, but you know, in Metroid Prime 4 so far, I don't hate it, but it's just like, okay, why is this desert area here? Donkey Kong Bonanza was cool, but um just generally this idea that like everything they're making is moving towards like, oh, open, 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 open. It's like, can we like reel it in a little bit, Like that don't we don't got to do that for everything. Yeah, I really hope that Splatoon spent. Well, okay, hold on, Raven, hold on. We an extraction shooter Splatoon might be a little interesting. I will say. I will say I would like to see Nintendo's take on that. That would be kind of interesting. But what would be more interesting is if Splatoon Raiders was just not following any trends. That would be like cooler if Splatoon Raiders was just something not trendy. But if they did something trendy, I would like to see their take on that. But that would be like not as interesting. Yeah, Thursday, bad boy, Thursday. I'm going to a concert tomorrow, so I had to get this. I had to get a little stream in with you guys. I'm going to see Rochelle Jordan. Rochelle Jordan. My favorite album from She dropped my favorite album from last year. And she's coming to Atlanta, so I'm very hyped for that. I'm very hyped to. Yeah, the new Tamagotchi life. Although it is very weird that the new Tamagotchi life. Yeah, she is. Yep. She is. That they're not allowing screenshots on the new Tamagotchi life. I do need to play that demo soon though. I'm looking forward to that one. Um Yeah, Extraction isn't a bad genre trend. And I'm hearing good things about Marathon. If I wasn't busy, I would be playing Marathon probably because from what I'm hearing, it's pretty legit. Um, but being live service makes it lower priority, and me being busy also makes it lower priority. But from what I'm hearing, it's not bad. It's cool. I think I would like Marathon based on what I'm hearing about it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pretty sure you do the events at your own pace, if I recall correctly. I mean, for me, it's the fact that they have them at all, though. Like, it's just a fundamental thing about live service that, like, I kind of tolerate. Um, it's not something I like to be there. Um, but Chums, it's fun. I was shitting on it at first before it came out, but I changed my tune after a few hours. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah, I totally get it, Flector. I understand the critiques of open worlds. Um, I enjoy them. Um, I enjoy open worlds. I don't have really time to explain. I know earlier this week, or was it this week or was it last week? Blader got had the whole hood in a frenzy because he was like, "Oh, open worlds are what did he say? Did he say what up, TL? What up?" I don't know what I forgot what he said, but it was something to the effect of, oh, because he was saying, like, basically he was saying open worlds are bad because the goal of open worlds is to be bigger. Yeah, he was saying it's bad game design. Um, I don't know if I think in practice open worlds are bad game design. I think in practice open worlds are bad game design. But I think what I would say is that, like, and this is gonna sound crazy. This is actually gonna sound crazy. I don't think bad game design necessarily hinders a game from being good. Does that make sense? Like there's like aspects of let me what's an example? Like, no, okay. This is what I mean by in practice I do think open worlds are bad game design. Um what I mean is that, like, in terms in the real world, in terms of how open world games are being made, in terms of like the standard that, like, most games have agreed on, that would qualify these games as open world. Most of these games, like, are making like bad decisions, right? Um, but I think that's like, I think you can't take like a singular thing like that and be like, oh, now because there's like bad decisions in here that, like, the whole thing is like bad or like unenjoyable. You know what I mean? That's the simple on the spot explanation I can give. Okay, let me give an analogy. Let me give an analogy. It's kind of like how um there's certain albums that I listen to that, like, have, let me say, like 4 to 5 like skippable songs, right? But The songs that aren't skippable are so good that I don't really care about those the five skippables. I'm like, whatever. So that's kind of what I mean by like bad game design doesn't necessarily like mean that like, oh, okay, now the game can't be good because because it's open world, or because it's even genres that I tell y'all that I don't like roguelikes. That just because I have issues with it doesn't mean that like, oh, like now I can't, now I can't like it. No, that okay, that's a better way to put it. That's a better way to put it, Shalant. That's a better way to put it. That's more like it's a hard genre to get right. Like there's a reason why GTA and Minecraft still stick around, even if they aren't. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's a better way to word what I'm saying. It's like it's just a hard genre to do correctly. But that's why I was saying like in practice, open worlds are bad game design. But like I don't agree with like the idea that like the trends that are popular in open worlds, that those have to be trends. Like I don't necessarily agree with that, which is kind of what he was implying, I guess. Um, I don't agree with that. But if most games are doing that, that's like not a. It's not like a crazy conclusion to come to. If that's what you see most games doing, right? It's like, okay, if majority of open worlds are doing XYZ, the logical conclusion is that like, oh, okay, that's what open worlds are. It's like, okay, but yeah, I get you, Shalant. Like that is more what that's the side I would lean towards. Blader makes this honest arguments when he suggests that fans of open world games want bigger worlds. Most of them want smaller, denser worlds. I don't know. I don't know. I don't disagree with what you're saying. What I'm literally saying I don't know. Like I don't know what most open world fans want. Like I don't. No, okay, but what I will say, and this is why I do think I lean more towards your side. I can't remember the last time people have asked for open worlds to be bigger. I can't remember the last, like maybe like during like the PS4, Xbox One generation, people were hyping that, but now I feel like people don't really give like people aren't sitting there like, oh, this world is bigger than XYZ, or you can, this map is so I'm not really seeing that anymore. Um what up, just another artist? What up? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like a common, and it's not to say that like they don't enjoy when the world is big. What I'm saying is like I don't think when the world isn't big that they're complaining. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of like no one was Cyberpunk 2077's world actually isn't that big compared to a lot of recent open worlds, but I don't see anyone really. That's not one of the complaints about Cyberpunk 2077 is that like, oh, the world is it's not that large. I don't really see that. Yeah, nobody really cares about that anymore. That's not something I see talked about that much now. That used to be a thing though, for sure. I even used to be somebody who hyped up like, "Oh, this world's so big," like when in my younger days. Yeah, exactly, Verum. Yeah, yeah. I didn't see anybody talking about it for Dragon's Dogma 2 or nothing. Did people hype up the size of Crimson Desert? I don't know if I saw that. I don't know if I saw anyone hyping up like, "Oh, the world is so huge." I don't know if I saw anyone saying that. Y'all want to know what's funny though about the Crimson Desert thing? Y'all remember the cutscene PowerPoint stream that I did? Y'all know that cutscene discourse started because people were because Crimson Desert they had like the fucking cutscene skipping feature, and then everybody was like, "Oh, if you skip cutscenes in video games, you're crazy. You're not a real gamer. You don't want to engage." People love talking about some engage, like you don't want to engage. You dudes find out about the word engage and start thinking they the smartest person in the world. They like you don't want to engage with the media. Like I don't know, like y'all found that word and y'all just like start spamming it, but no, like now everyone's trashing Crimson Desert story. So y'all were getting mad at people who wanted to skip cutscenes in video games, and now y'all are like, this story is ass for Crimson Desert. That is crazy. Y'all are actually crazy. Y'all are actually like something is actually wrong with gamers. I agree, Jalen. Y'all were going in. Y'all was like, oh wow. TikTok attention spans, TikTok brains. Oh my gosh, y'all, you can't pay y'all don't want to pay attention to anything. Y'all don't want to engage with anything. Oh my gosh. Now look, the story is ass. If I see someone say anti-art, I know I'm about to read some BS. Burgundy, here comes Burgundy about to come with some contrarian shit. Okay, that's not an argument against what core point. I found a tick. Oh, okay, let's go. Oh, Crimson Desert letting you skip everything is just an admission that they don't think anything in that story is game story is worth seeing. You're right. What up, Digimon? I think you're right. And I think that applies. Hmm. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say not worth seeing. This is what I would say. This is what I would say. I'm gonna reel it in a little bit. I would say that means that they think that you can still experience the game in a valid way without seeing those cuts, without seeing the cutscenes. I think it mean or rather I think they think they're saying the gameplay is strong enough to make it an enjoyable experience without the cutscenes. I wouldn't say that means they don't think it's worth seeing. That's more so what I would say. Saw someone say emulation is anti-art. What? Yeah, we gotta ban some words. Yeah, I'd say Persona is enjoyable without I don't skip the cutscenes in Persona, but I do think it's still enjoyable without watching the story. Combat's good enough. RPG mechanics are deep enough. You want to know games that don't? You want to know a game that doesn't let you skip every cutscene? There's gonna be a cheat code. There's gonna be a cheat answer. I'm gonna give two answers. 13 Sentinels doesn't let you skip the cutscenes technically because the game is the story. And the second answer I'm gonna give is Cyberpunk 2077. Because half the time you just walking around while they talking. Like that's most of the cutscenes in Cyber. Oh, it does. Oh, okay, it allows you to skip. Okay, never mind. Okay, 13 Sentinels. I take that back. Well, actually, no. Okay, hold on. 13 Sentinels. That's a tricky one because if you fast forward through all the text, you might miss some of the gameplay stuff. So you can skip through text in 13 Sentinels, but for some of the adventure game like point and click shit, it would affect your experience. Same with Cyberpunk 2077, actually. Well, not same with Cyberpunk. Yeah, no, actually, yes, the same with Cyberpunk 2077. I think that's also why both of those games do fast forward instead of skip because sometimes you do need to know what's going on for gameplay reasons, especially in 13 Sentinels. If you skip some stuff in 13 Sentinels, you might get lost about like, oh, who do I need to talk to? Like, where do I need to go? Um, yeah, Cyberpunk is all in game. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's an interesting topic. Allowing cutscenes to be skipped. Does that say you're not confident in the cutscenes? I don't know. I don't know if that's what that means. Um, it's hard to say with video games. Ooh, media literacy is on. Media literacy is on life support. That phrase is on life support. There's a couple phrases. Media literacy is on life support. Performative is done. Performative is done. We can't use performative no more. I remember one stream I was telling you guys like performative is a useful word. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's over. But we can't use performative no more. People done ruined it. It's done. We can't say performative no more. Um, Anti art is done, right? Yeah, no more performative. We can't talk. We can't say performative no more. Anti-consumer been done for years. Anti-consumer has been done. Anti-consumer been done. That shit don't mean nothing no more. Slop is I'ma just say slop is just Gen Z's. That's their thing. That's how they call shit trash, I guess. That's how they call shit trash. So yeah, we lost a couple words recently. Clunky, clunky is done. Clunky is over. Dated. Friction is on life support. Friction is on life support. I'm seeing people talk about. I'm seeing people say call some crazy shit friction now. Um, People call shit like walkbacks friction. Well, no, is it called walkbacks? Yeah, there's some crazy things. Yeah, like the walk back. Yeah, I wouldn't call that friction. Run backs, whatever you want to. That's not friction. I wouldn't call that friction. Mind you, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not. I'm not even. I'm not talking about whether walkbacks are bad or good. I'm just saying I don't. That's not what I would call friction in the way that it should be used. Um, People call obtuse menus friction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People are calling some weird. I don't know. Because the thing about friction is that like okay, let me see. Let me how would I Sorry, I just got back from work, so I'm not quick with the examples like I usually am. But friction to me is like moment to moment stuff. Not like stuff I think people try to make like tedium friction, right? So let's say you like let's say a game is grindy or something, and you have to like fight too many enemies to level up. People call that friction because like, oh, you have to. It's like, no, it's not. It's not working a part of my brain that like friction to me is a bit skill based. It has to be. It has to involve skill. It can't be something that's like easy, but it's just like annoying. You get what I mean? Like some people call shit that's just like annoying friction, even though it's not like it's not difficult to do. It's just like, oh, you're doing this thing and like it bothers you. So it's friction now. It's like friction can be annoying. Yeah, all friction isn't okay. Friction can be annoying, but um everything annoying isn't friction, right? Yeah, exactly. D lightning like long, like I would have called long loading screens friction. Like that's not that's not friction. You know. Um, I don't know. That just feels a little bit um disingenuous to me. Friction is that's just disingenuous to me. I think it's just simpler to say like friction is like moment to moment difficulty. You know, people say this isn't fair. I've already proven I can get here. This is just tedium. And that's just kind of loser shit. Like if you lose to a boss, you gotta get back to the boss. But what if it's easy to get there though? It's not like that. It's not if it's easy, that's a punishment for losing. It's just John's to say, "Oh, okay, this part of the game isn't fair because I don't like it." This depends. This depends. Um Mind you, I'm not even saying that I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Burgundy. I think you missed what I said earlier. I didn't say that run backs are bad or good. That's not what I said. I said it's not friction. Like I don't I wouldn't call that I wouldn't call that friction. Like you just said, it's just punishment. Like which is fine. That can be a good thing too, but that's not like what that's not a useful way to use the word friction in my opinion. Because it gets like very like slippery if you keep on if we keep on like going down that hole. Pause. I wouldn't say it's padding. I wouldn't say it's padding either. I like the word punishment. Like punishment, that's like a good like word. Like I think that's a good word for what a run back is. But I don't know if I would call it friction though. Like because it's not like when I think about friction, I think about like mechanical shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. To me, friction is if the game is actively pushing against me instead of. Oh, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it, Arthur. To me, friction is if the game is actively pushing against me instead of it being passive. Yeah, like that's what I meant when I was saying like it's moment to moment shit. You know, like easiest way to look at it is like two gears going in two different directions instead of one gear turning. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes. There you go. There you go. Y'all got it. Yeah, that's what I mean. It like yeah. So that's I don't. That's what I mean by like I don't like the whole oh friction is anything that's like annoying or like punishing or whatever because it's just like okay now then everything is like friction. That's not so that's not a it. Even if we want to go that route, going that route makes the term less useful. It makes the term less useful if we're like, okay, anything that like is like a bit annoying or a bit frustrating is now friction. It's like I don't know if I want to. That's how you get people saying shit like oh um uh grinding is friction. It's like okay, I guess, but like I don't know if that's a useful way to use the word. I don't know if like that's useful for conversations. Grinding isn't even really like a thing. What do you mean, Burgundy? It also has a funny side effect of making discussion of character movement or racing games physics. There, thank you, man. Thank you. Yes, it makes discussion harder. Conflate the in real life definition with the game design definition. Thank you. 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 Exactly. No game made in the past 20 years forces you to fight random enemies to clear it. No, that's not true. No, that's it's not true. Um, in basically every instance, more skillful play and engaging with what you naturally run into over the course of normal gameplay is enough. No, I know that because I'm playing SMT5 right now, and I'm a Shin Megami Tensei guy. Like, and I know those systems pretty well. You have to grind a little bit. Now mind you, it's not like the worst thing, and it's not like how it was back in the day. It's not like you out here like, you know, um, is that nah, not always. Wait, who are you talking to, Armagon? Me or Burgundy? But yeah, nah, like SMT5, you need to grind a little bit. You need to grind a little bit. And even if you don't, and even if you get lucky and like, what up, Kiruse? No, grinding is if you fight an enemy, right? And you don't have what you need to, and you lose to the enemy. Like, let's say you fight a boss, right? And you lose to the boss and you don't have what you need to beat the boss, and you have to go back and get something. You have to, for SMT5 specifically, this is why I'm using this as an example. For SMT5, sometimes it won't even be that like you're not the right level or something. It might be that you don't have the right like demon or party setup or something, and that might require you to go back and do conversations with demons to get the demons and get the fusions, or get the money that you need to fuse the correct demon to get the correct skill to beat that boss. You know what I mean? So I'd count that as grinding, even if it isn't like literally leveling up. You know, it might be that you have to go back and like get something. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you do have to grind. I'm not with that. I don't agree with that at all. Like, you do have to grind in some games. Um, there's a lot of games where you don't though. Maybe the vast majority. That's not the case for Shin Megami Tensei yet. Um, I'd say Xenoblade. You don't have to. You can kind of just like naturally play. Xenoblade, you can kind of just naturally play, and you don't really have to grind. Um, Pokemon, you can naturally play. Pokemon been that way for a while now. Pokemon, I don't feel has had grinding for a while now. Um, but every game is a little too far. That's a little crazy. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say all that. Um, yeah, Xenoblade is like very chill about that. Yeah, Xenoblade, you have to try to not be over leveled in Xenoblade. Like, you have to like actively avoid it, you know. Um yep, mhm. Oh, but yeah, Shin Megami Tensei, no, you for sure you for sure still got to grind. That's a good question. I guess you would. But I would argue Ash, is that I think Pokemon I haven't played Pokemon recently, but I know Pokemon does certain things to like force catching. I don't know. I haven't played Pokemon in a while, so don't quote me on this. I don't know. I can't speak in depth about Pokemon right now. It's grinding, Burgundy. But like grinding, let's look up the definition of grinding. Let's look up the definition of grinding. Um oh, they talking about literal grinding. um I'm not gonna look at the AI definition. Grinding is a term within video game culture. Oh, let me pull this up so y'all can see. Hold on. Should have been right by my side, baby. If you care anything for me. Grinding is a term within video game culture that describes time spent in the game in which a player repeats a general task in order to gain rewards like in game currency, in game experience, player stats, or reward types. That's it. That's grinding. That is grinding. Um, so yeah, I'd say if you have to go back and do something again to like get something, um, in terms of like in-game rewards, like that level up your character or increase your character's abilities, that's grinding. Um, now there's levels to it, of course. Like that's why I prefaced it by saying like I don't think Shin Megami Tensei's grinding is nothing crazy. It's not something that's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go back and da 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 da. But you do have to like you are gonna have to go back and repeat some shit sometimes, or like talk to a monster more than once to get it has to be a little. Pokemon Za, I would say, requires grinding random battles to progress. Okay, I haven't played Pokemon, so I can't speak. No, it's Burgundy. It's grinding, bro. It's okay. It's grinding, dude. Like it's fine, bro. If you have to repeat something, we just looked at the definition. It's grinding. Now, like I said, I don't think like it's just the most egregious thing every time. It's grinding. Like now I feel like you're getting semantical. uh I don't think the level of active decision making really matters to whether it's yeah. Yeah. It's fine. It's grinding. But like RPGs to an extent, well, right now, and this goes back to what I was saying about open worlds. Right now, role playing games, the standard of role playing games is still that. Now, does it have to be that? In my opinion, it doesn't have to be. And I can't really think, well, actually, let me take that back. Let me take that back. There are RPGs where you don't have to grind. But y'all know what RPGs those are? Do y'all know which RPGs those are? Souls is one of them, yeah. Nope, I haven't played enough tactics RPGs, but you might be right. I don't know. Um Western RPGs. I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 right now, and at no point have I had to like go back and be like, oh, well, first of all, the game doesn't. Well, it has levels, I guess, but levels don't really. It doesn't really lock you out of. Well, okay, let me say this. Let me say this about Cyberpunk 2077. Like the encounters that you have to do, like the main quest encounters, always will level you up enough for what you need for the next thing. Um or give you enough money or give you enough whatever for you to get to the next thing. That would be the CRPGification of yo, yeah, like I will keep saying it. Western RPGs and you'll definitely get your ass whooped if you try the DLC too early, but that's kind of a special case. That's why I skipped the DLC for now. I'm gonna go back on my replay and play the DLC, but yeah, a lot of Western RPGs, I don't think you can be like hard locked out of like progressing because of your level. I don't think you can be hard locked out of progressing. But we all know that's not how people actually play them. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I get you, Rayton. Hey, I get you. I get you. Yeah. So Cyberpunk 2077, Xenoblade to a certain extent, and even Xenoblade, I would say Xenoblade in theory you don't have to grind, but I would still say Xenoblade in practice for the most part you're gonna grind in some form or fashion. Um, even though they're very generous with like, so easy example, you might not have to grind levels, but you might have to grind items or something in Xenoblade. I haven't played Xenoblade One in a while, but you're probably right. I'm only thinking about X. I'm only thinking about X. Yeah, exploring locations also gives you experience. Yeah, Xenoblade is just very generous with it. So yeah, yeah. And this is if I made an RPG. If I made an RPG, I would make it so that if you fight anything once, you get the amount of experience you are required to fight everything. And they're unavoidable fights that give you enough experience to beat whatever boss that you need to beat. And but you know what game kind of did this is Xenosaga 1. Xenosaga 1, if you fight everything once, the what the game will do is like when you go back and fight them again, they'll start giving you, I'm exaggerating here because I don't know the number, but let's say you fight like a soldier, like you fight every soldier in the room, and every time you beat them, you get like 100 EXP. When you go back and fight them again, it'll be like you'll get like 20 EXP. Like they'll reduce the EXP so much that it's signaling to you that like, okay, you need to move on. Like you can't do anything more with like fighting the enemies here. Um so a lot of times like the Xenosaga bosses would be hard to the extent of, okay, I know I can't go back and grind because I'm stuck in this area and I can't go back to previous areas because like the EXP is so low. So there's something I haven't figured out about this boss. So I would do something like that, but to like a super extreme, you know. Um, yeah, I will make it so that it's like, nope, you fight them once. My ideal RPG would be like a boss rush. Like that is what my ideal RPG would be. It would just be a boss rush. Yep, Persona 3 did do it, but unfortunately, Persona 3 has other problems where that shit didn't even matter. It still felt tedious because of other things about Persona 3. They go say you making friction slop. Um, that's crazy. That's the version I played. I didn't play Reload. I did not play Reload. Yeah, Persona 3 has issues. I can't get jiggy with Persona 3, man. And I unfortunately, if I was older me, if I was older me, I would not have beat Persona 3. I would have dropped that game like halfway through. But younger me was like, you gotta finish it. You gotta finish it. You gotta see it through. You gotta see it through. And then I saw it through and I was like, wait, what do you mean? No, I beat Persona 3. I've beat every Persona except for Persona 1. Yeah, I beat Persona 3. Oh, you meant that 5 is more tedious than 3? Nah. Nah. Not at all. I don't agree with that at all. That's no. Persona 3 has like no dungeon design obviously. Um no, I didn't play the answer. At by the time I beat Persona 3, I was like over it. I'm like, okay, I've already given this game more than this was not 5 hour cutscene rule era GK. So me beating it was already like grace, giving it grace. Thank you, Verum. Thank you. I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that, Verum. Like, Persona 3 has issues with no dungeon design, obviously. And I had already come from Shin Megami Tensei when I came into Persona 3. But then also, Persona 3 has a bunch of dead days in the calendar. So it's like, you going through all these days of ain't shit happening. And like, oh, walking to school, da, 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 like, it's like, nah, bro, sorry. And I like, y'all can say what you want. I'm not going to agree with you if you have anything. I'll hear you out and be like, okay, cool, but I'm just not gonna agree with you. I feel very strongly about my dislike of Persona 3. That's not one of those things we can have a conversation about. Um, that game has problems, man. Like, at least the dungeons don't stop you every 10 seconds to watch the characters talk. That's true. That's true. I will say that Persona 3's dungeons don't got nothing going on, like narrative wise or design wise. So it's a give and take, I guess. 3 is like, that's a rough game. That is a rough game. Yeah, the nothing days in Persona 3, like, when I first played Persona 3, I was 15. I couldn't tell whether it felt so monotonous because it was making a message about modern student life or because it was simply bad. That's what some people be trying to and those be the arguments that bother me the most. About forget about if whether you like. I don't like those people that be like, no, Persona Three's tedium is actually a message about da 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 da. They're actually telling you that like the boringness of life is what makes life worth living. That's actually what it's telling you. That was intentional. That was intentional. Bruh, stop it. Stop it. I'd rather you just be like, I thought it was, I enjoyed it. The Drakengard one excuse. I hate that shit, bro. And then you talk to the developers and they're like, actually, we just, that should be killing. You know what be killing me when people be trying to give assign developer intent to certain decisions, and then the developer, you interview the developer and they're like, actually, we didn't have enough time to like really fill out the game the way we wanted to. That wasn't intentional, actually. Like, actually, it was that was a mistake on our part. The fact that you got to go to sleep is an issue. The fact that you have to go through the day at all is the issue, Burgundy. That's the issue. It's not a fake issue. It's a real issue. The day has to happen. Me having to see the day happen is the issue. It's not about what you're doing in the day. It's about the day has to happen, and nothing like that's the issue. Calling it a fake issue is cope. Fucking cope. Just say you're fine with the dead with that. Just say you're fine with it. Calling it a fake issue is like, I don't know. That's cope. That's like mega. You're coping a lot this stream, Burgundy. It's not grinding. It's just the gameplay. It's not tedious because you can go to sleep. Just it's okay to just say it is what it is and you're cool with it. That's fine. Like it's fine to say that sometimes. Trying to talk around it is like doing too much. It's contrarian, you know. Until your calendar system is goaded because the days progress on your terms instead of days being nothing. That is what I would prefer. You know what game did a day system really well? Digimon World 1. I need to talk more about that game. Digimon World 1 did it right. High school was monotonous. Y'all didn't join clubs? Nah, but you know what this is? You know what this is that like I think there's a fundamental disconnect with people who are more how do I say it? I come from like a gamey I have more of like a gamey like arcadey background. You know what I mean? So stuff that people are a lot more tolerant of, or they just consider like oh, that's just a part of the game. That's just the game. That's just the game. In my mind, I'm like, but that doesn't have that's still a choice that the game is making. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't have to be the game. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you can just skirt it gets to the point where you can just like circumvent any criticism by saying like that's just the game. That's just what the game is. That's just what the game is. That's just what it's like. Okay, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like I have a specific background. I have a specific background in terms of like my sensibilities and what I value in video games, right? And my specific background informs the things that like I like or I dislike. You know, that's obvious. That's you know, that goes without saying, right? But this is why I say like whenever people like yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tia. Yeah, intention doesn't mean I gotta think it's good. That doesn't mean I have to now. Like, this is what I like to say, and this is going to explain how I talk about video games, and y'all will notice this in my videos too. But this is going to explain the way I talk about video games versus like how a lot of people talk about video games, right? If someone says they don't like something, or if someone says they like something, I'm not going to argue with them about it. I'm not going to tell them like, "Oh, you're wrong," or "Oh, you don't get it." You know why? Because vast majority of the time, it's not like I can go back. It's not like I can go back in time and change the fact like let me give a crazy example. Let me give a crazy example. Let's say let's say you ate your friend's food out the fridge, right? Let's say you ate your friend's food and he's like, "Damn, why'd you eat my food out the fridge? Like, what the fuck? That was mine. That was mine. That was my food." It's not like him now telling you that the food that you ate, you stole his food. It's not like you can now go back in time and change the fact that you enjoyed what you ate. You get what I'm saying? Even if you tell them that like them eating it was wrong, it's not like you can now go back and be like, so now like it tasted bad to you now, right? It's like, no, I still ate it and enjoyed it in that moment. You know what I mean? So even the worst case scenario of you doing something wrong is not going to change the fact that you liked it or you hated it when you did it, right? So someone telling me that like this is what the game was trying to do. This is what the game. This is why they did it. This is the reason I liked it. This is da 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 da. Okay, I still fucking hated it. I when I played it those years ago, I did not like it. You know what I mean? Like I did not like it in that moment. Now, people's tastes can change. People's tastes can change over time, right? But those kinds of things those kinds of things don't happen through just telling somebody that like, oh, you didn't get it. Like, oh, this is what they meant to do. Oh, this is taste change because your circumstances in life change, because you become exposed to different. They don't change because like you got in a discussion or argument with somebody about like the fact that like, have y'all ever, or maybe y'all have, but have y'all ever had a conversation with somebody online, right, talking about a game you liked or disliked, went back and forth, and then you're like, you know what, now I like the game because you said this to me. Now all of a sudden this game that I thought was a 3, I now think is a 10 out of 10 because you talked to me and you convinced me that this shit that I hated, I now think I think it's a 10 out of 10. That doesn't happen. Like, yeah, you might give it that's what might happen. You might give it another chance. That's something that might happen. But I'm talking about in the moment of y'all talking, you're not all of a sudden going to be like, oh, wow, now I all of a sudden like it, or the reverse. Let's talk about the reverse. Have you ever loved a game? This probably will like get your gears turning. But have you ever loved a game and then someone talked to you about it? Someone said, "Man, I fucking hate that shit, bro. Like, I hate that game so much. That game does this, that, da 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 da." And then now you hate it. You're like, you know what? Bruh, this was my favorite game of all time, but now you convinced me. This shit is trash. I hate it now. Matter of fact, I'm like, nah, I'm never playing this shit again. Like, I was spending hours on this game, but you convinced me, man. I don't like it anymore. It especially doesn't happen in those cases, you know? So I don't think it is, and Lucario, that does happen, and it's fucking sad. It is fucking sad. It's sad, man. But I don't conversations aren't what like change my opinion on games. What changes my opinion on games is like playing games, right? Now, the thing that Bad Boy JM said about like you might give it another chance. That happens, in my opinion, that happens for games that like either you were on the fence about, like you didn't hate it, but you were kind of like, I kind of want to like this. You know what I mean? Games you were on the fence about, um, or games where you aren't familiar with the language of the genre or the franchise or the series. So, for example, like I was new to adventure games or visual novels for a long time. It wasn't until Valhalla where I was like, okay, I do kind of like adventure games. I do kind of like virtual novel games, right? So now that I'm more familiar with the language of visual novels and adventure games, I can go back to ones that I skipped in the past and be like, okay, maybe I can give this another chance because like now I'm becoming more familiar with like what this style, like how to engage with this style of thing. But if it's something that's like you're kind of already familiar with the world, with that world, right? A conversation isn't going to change your mind on it. Like I know I've played a bunch of JRPGs. So having a conversation with me about Persona 3 isn't going to move the needle for me. Like I've played Shin Megami Tensei. I've played almost every game in the series. You know what I mean? So this isn't a series I'm unfamiliar with. So a conversation with me about Persona 3 isn't something that's going to like move the needle. It's like we're arguing like fundamental shit, you know? Um so that's different. Unfamiliarity is different from like, oh, I'm kind of I know this world already, like I'm familiar with RPGs and that sort of thing. You know? Yeah, I'm a grown man. No one's gonna tell me I hated something I didn't. Yeah, I don't get like. So this is what I mean by like, this is, if you look at the way I talk about games through that lens, a lot more things make sense. Because my goal is never to convince y'all of anything. If y'all think I'm trying to convince y'all to play Xenoblade X, if y'all think I'm trying to convince y'all to play fighting games, if y'all think I'm trying to convince y'all to do XYZ, that is never the case. All I'm doing is sharing, hey, I like this thing. That's it. That's it. I'm just saying like, oh yeah, I like this. Or if I'm saying I hated it, I'm like, oh yeah, I hated it. You know, but I'll never say like, oh, if you don't like this, you know, you got trash taste, or if if you like this, then you have trash taste, or you don't get it, or whatever. It's like, nah, that's at the most I might say like, oh, you might not be you know. That's you just we're just in different spaces. You know what I mean? We're just in different places. Like the example I gave last week, right? About or not last week, the week before last, about like 1cc's, right? I'm not about to sit there and tell everybody they need to do that. Even if I my stance is that like, yeah, you to know certain arcade games, like to truly play them and understand them the way they're meant to be understood, you need to 1cc it. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, so if you don't do that, you don't get it, or you're just playing it wrong, or you're not seeing the vision. It's like, nigga, people got jobs, people got other stuff going on in their lives. Everybody, like, that's not how I view engaging with entertainment. Experience is about a discovery and finding things yourself. Yes, it should be organic. It should be organic. It shouldn't be a forced thing, you know? So I'm not that dude. If y'all think I'm the dude that's like, hey, I need to convince you, we're trying to convince each other about who's right. I'm not that dude. If that's what y'all, no. I'm going to tell you what I think, and then like, that's it. That's it. I ain't here to like change nobody's mind. I ain't here to say nobody is wrong, but as long as you give me the same courtesy, then we cool. You know. So I try to make that clear. I try to make that clear when I'm talking about anything. Organic makes the experience a lot more personal and easier to connect to. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hold on, somebody might have to do this next week because you DM me. Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay. Um. Yeah. I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude, man. I'm not the dude that's gonna tell you like, you better play this way, or you better play this, or you better play. We talked about this last week when we were talking about like how people get obsessed with like play order and all that kind of stuff. And people get mad like, oh, you played this game first in the series, you're doing it wrong. You played uh Xenoblade 3 before Xenoblade 1. Man, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care about that kind of stuff. That stuff is not like, I don't know. I'm just not that like militant. But I think what confuses people, and I was talking about this. Who was I talking about this with? I forgot who I was talking about this with. I think it was my fiance, but I think because I come across like intellectual or smart or whatever, I do video essays and shit like that. People think that means that like, I'm looking for a challenge, or I'm looking for like, you know, or I'm trying to spread some kind of agenda or whatever the case may be. It's like, nah. It's like, nah. Like that's not really the type of time I'm on. GK is an activist, actually. Yeah, it's not the type of time I'm on, really. So you know what's crazy, y'all? Today I was supposed to stream with someone well known in the fighting game community, but some things came up, so we're gonna have to delay that. But we gotta. By the way, did anyone see the J. Cole interview? It's kind of the last thing I want to talk about. Did anyone see that? I'm kind of burnt out on the J. Cole stuff now. I'm kind of burnt out on the J. Cole stuff now. Yeah, with Cam. You know what? J. Cole needs to start lying. He needs to start lying. Like because his honesty is annoying. He just gotta lie. Like because here's the thing. I believe him on that Diddy shit that he said. I believe him, and I'm just like, bro, like you didn't even. There's no reward for what you just said. Like you've gained nothing from saying that about like because here's the thing. This is why like this is what I mean by he should just lie because the fall off did come and go, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking that album a little more after some time has passed. Actually, especially the first disc. But that's separate from what I'm talking about. The thing about the Diddy thing is that all he had to say was, and this would have made everyone would have been understanding of this. I think he could have just said it would have looked if he had talked about the Diddy fight while all that shit with Diddy was going on. It would have looked like he was trying to capitalize on the fact that like all that shit was going on with Diddy. It would have looked like he was like trying to get into the news and like ride the wave of like the news. That's all he. That would have. That's what I mean by like he needs to just lie. Cause like, why did you have to tell us the extra shit? Like that extra shit doesn't even do nothing for you. Like you could have said what I just said, and it would have got the same point across. Like, and it would have been technically would have been true, but like you're now saying like, oh, you're like, oh, that's my boy though. Like I'm kicking the man while he's down. Like we didn't need to know that. Like, why did you say like I don't know. He gotta just lie, man. Or like Jay Boulevard said, just stop talking. Like just stop talking, man. Like you don't gotta say all that. The sad fact of the matter is they say shit like that because it doesn't move the needle. Yeah. Yeah, like he out here sounding like a sympathizer. I know you're not. I know that's why I'm saying. I know he's not. I know he doesn't. But why? It's like I don't. Ah, that Diddy shit was so annoying because you didn't have to say that, bro. Like, and you could have got the same point across. But also, I think a part of him cares too much about. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Trying to avoid stepping on toes, but going too far in the other direction. Yeah, I think he cares too much about like not looking like he's shitting on people, which I get because I think he's genuinely. I know everyone doesn't agree with this. I understand his take on the Drake and Kendrick shit. Like, cause I genuinely think he's cool with both of them, and like, especially when he was like, he didn't want to put he his response to the Kendrick shit was like, "Oh, this is bad timing," like, cause I'm about to put this album. I believe him on that, but it's just like, I don't know. There's just a way you can say it that like that doesn't make it sound like you trying too hard to not like make people mad. You know? Like, and I've dealt with that, to be honest. Like those people that like you'll be getting your back kicked in, and then like you know what it's like. You know what it's like. Oh, hold on. Y'all ever been in an argument with somebody, and then you have like a third party that's present for the argument, and let's say like he's the person that's friends with both of y'all, and then let's say the somebody slapped you, right? Somebody slapped the shit out of you. It's like, oh, you slapped me. Like, damn, why'd you slap me? Like, and then it's like y'all get in the argument, y'all going back and forth, and then like you look at the other person, and then you're like, man, you saw he dude slapped me, man. Like, tell him he like, am I tripping or what? And then the dude you ask is tripping. He's just like, man, I don't know, man. I try to stay out of all that. I try to stay. But bruh, he just slapped the shit out of me, bro. Like, and he's like, man. And then after the argument's over, y'all talking behind the scenes, and then he's like, man, he was wrong for slapping you, bro. Like, I would have said something, but you know how it is, man. Like, dudes be tripping, man. And I'm like, bruh, you could have said something in the moment. Like, that shit be pissing me off, bro. Like, so that's sometimes how J. Cole comes across. It's like, especially with the Diddy thing, it's like, bro, come on now. Like, I kind of understood it with the Drake and Kendrick shit. Now I'm just like, okay, you just don't want to. You don't want to. Have an opinion on something, bro, or just don't say anything. Like, don't like. So that shit is annoying. Yeah, like actually fought this dude, man. Yeah, I don't want to kick a man while he's down like a dog. Come on, bro. Like, and Diddy is like beating on women and shit. You know, like live footage. Like, and it's like J. Cole is supposed to be the like conscious. That's my problem with Kendrick too. But because Kendrick, and I be saying this, low key, y'all gonna say I'm tripping. I feel like I could make a if Kendrick got in a battle with me, I would be able to find the angles. Like Kendrick's, he talks about being against like pedophilia and disrespecting women and all this kind of shit when he's dissing Drake. But then he didn't have a problem with it when he was working with Dr. Dre. He didn't have a problem with it when he was working with Kodak Black. He didn't have a problem with it when he was praising Triple X Tentacion. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the difference with Kendrick is that Kendrick doesn't talk. Kendrick doesn't like. I don't know. He just doesn't do that thing where he like puts himself out there like that to be crucified on these things. Yeah, he's hypocritical, but like he doesn't put himself out there. You know, so I don't know, but J. Cole will put himself out there and be like, he should just not say anything. He should, that's all he should do. Yeah, just disappear. Yeah, yeah. People. He doesn't do it outside. That's it. He doesn't do it outside of the albums, which is the difference between people not gonna take the lyrics. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So that's the issue, man. It's like Cole just be putting himself out there. If he just not talk, he'll be fine. Yeah, yeah. Kendrick ain't no angel, man. But he don't put himself out there to be judged in that way. So it's PR 101. If all else fails, don't say shit. Especially nowadays, because like it'll be some different news the next day anyway. So people will forget eventually. When you come out here like apologizing and trying to over explain, that's one thing I learned going viral. As many times as I've gone viral, over explaining will do more damage than just like keeping shit simple. Yeah, there you go. Athena, you get it. Rubbed me the wrong way. He called Drake a deadbeat in the beef he started via Future. Kendrick doesn't actually have a problem with this shit. The way he claims he has a problem with it. But it's good for diss records, you know. Of course, it's good because that's what you do in a diss record. You find something, even if it's like even if you're not going to be consistent about it yourself. You know. So yeah, you know, it's just one of those things, man, where yeah, he just hates Drake. Yeah, it's that simple. It's not any philosophical or like deep thing. You know, like oh wow, Kendrick's just this morally superior person. Da, da, da. It's like we don't know that, and we've seen the contrary. So he just don't like him. So it's different when Drake does it. Even Drake hasn't been talking, which is crazy. I feel like Cole has done more damage to himself than Drake has in some ways. But yeah, so yeah, that's PR, man. Just don't talk, stay quiet, don't over explain yourself. Because the more you explain yourself on the internet, y'all, the more holes that people. But you know what's crazy is that like, and maybe because it's just because of his stands. I don't. I feel like he's good. Drake is good, especially in real life. Like the women don't give a fuck about that shit. They are still playing at least out here. At least out here in Georgia, the women are still playing his shit for sure. Like not even. Not, and I'm not talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's still getting played out here. At least I don't know where y'all are at, but yeah, he's not. He's. That's why I keep saying like I feel like Cole got the bad end of the stick. you know? Yeah, yeah, man. Did we miss any other gaming news? Um, I think that was it for this week. Layoffs. Nintendo, Xbox had a thing. Who cares? Oh, Devil May Cry 5 coming to Switch too. I guess. By the way, last thing on this, and maybe I'm alone on this. Y'all are gonna be like, "Oh, you're crazy, you're crazy." Does anybody feel like how do this is the only word I can think of. Does anybody feel a little bored that like now it feels like everything can run on the Switch too? Because now it's like there's no more like miracle ports. Is no like it's no like, oh wow, this can run on the Switch. Wow, like there's no. I feel you. I don't actually miss it, but I think it's just like, okay, it runs well. Like it's 60 frames. Okay. Well, I guess we're just playing it. No, it's not, you know. I do find it interesting when something run. Okay, but that maybe that's not a good way to word it, but I do find it interesting when something runs better than you think it should on something. Y'all's always like a fun little like, oh. But yeah, it feels like Switch 2 is not going to be having no issues. They talking about GTA 6 is coming to this thing. And at this point, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it. I don't think that's like crazy. I don't think that's crazy at this point, especially seeing Resident Evil 9. You heard the rumor they're upping the PS5 price again. Ooh, really? You know what's crazy? Kira says people are still making the Switch will explode jokes. I guess because everyone doesn't have a Switch 2 yet, so they're not keeping up with the fact that like it's getting current gen games. It's like everything can run on it now. If the PS5 price goes up tomorrow, I don't think. I think it'll be whatever. I think now, at least me, I'm getting like desensitized to bad economic news. It's like, okay, oh, they got laid off. Okay, okay, cool, okay, not cool, but gotcha. Oh, the price is going up on Netflix. Oh, okay, all right. It feels like we get at least something like that, like once a week now. But shout outs to we got a couple some good news. We got Sora died. Sora is done. The open AI video thing. This AI shit is done though. This shit is like wrapping up. I think the only thing that's gonna be left at the end of all this is pretty much like Chat GPT. I don't think Chat GPT is gonna go anywhere. But I think people are gonna use it like significantly less. You know. Oh wait. Oh, Fortnite raised the price of V-Bucks. Y'all think Fortnite will ever fall off? I mean, it'll fluctuate. That's inevitable. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. This deadlock is the next big thing, though. I think that deadlock game is going to be huge when it's finally out of beta. Yeah, but deadlock is already big, but like I'm talking about like Fortnite big. Well, maybe not Fortnite. Maybe not Fortnite. Let me take that back. Like a little below Fortnite. The thing is, Deadlock wouldn't necessarily be a Fortnite killer because a big part is that it's on everything. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Deadlock just gonna be stuck on PC? Is it never coming to console? Oh, they're already modding the game. Hydro, we talking about leaving soon. Where's that video that I be posting all the time? Oh, I found it.
White niggas love that dick. Yeah, law. Woo, boy, those niggas love this shit, boy. They can't never get off this shit. This shit like Valorant in its second form. They can't get off this shit. Yeah, I did. Hold on, I'm on deadlock right now. I'll get on after. Saying that, nigga, them boy love this shit. Valve actually, they just released this game a few days ago, and there were like zero complaints. Every time Valve makes a multiplayer game, it reinvents the formula. Saying that, nigga swear they know everything about Valve. Niggas be dead right now. Fuck out that nigga Gabe, bro. We get it. We get it. We get it. He's goated. We get it, nigga. We get it. White niggas.
Did you talk about the playing games versus not playing tourist topic yet? Oh, I forgot that happened. Social media already this is expired by the end of the week. The meme is done, but it was fun while it lasted. But white people get so mad at it. What's funny about the joke is that like it's not even like offensive. It's just saying like, yeah, white people love deadlock. What's wrong with that? And you'll see white people just in the comments every time these videos get posted, they'll just be like, oh, well, y'all can't read. It's not that serious, man. The crime rate, yeah, exactly. Frostix is like, bro, that's not. Do y'all not see the difference between saying y'all like deadlock and like calling a race of people monkeys. So you're saying deadlock sucks. That's exact. I guess that's what they're getting from it. Maybe that's actually what they're getting from it. It's like, ah, oh, so you hate white people. But no, Hydro, on that topic of like the whole playing games versus watching games thing, you know what's funny is that, like, again, going back to that cutscene topic, there are people who will be like, when I posted that a clip of me talking about my 5 hour rule with cutscenes, there were the only people that disagreed were people saying, what's the point of playing the game? What's the point of playing the game if you're not going to watch the cutscenes? There were people in my replies saying that. It's like, there's no point in playing for just the gameplay then. But then next week, the topic is, oh, if you watch a playthrough of a game, then you didn't actually play the game. But so people were, so it's just two different groups, I guess, but I'm pretty sure some of these same people were telling you that, like, oh, if you skip cutscenes, playing the game is pointless. But then now that people are saying, like, okay, I'll just watch a playthrough, they're like, that's not playing the game. So which is it? So now the gameplay matters. But granted, I will say I don't think actually Goomba fallacy. Sure. Y'all aren't exactly, Cell Device. Different people. you know. Uh Somebody said they hated the game's control. You know what it is though? I don't think majority of people watch playthroughs and say they play the game. That might be a crazy take. I don't know if that's great, but I don't think that's the majority of people. I think majority of you sure this one isn't the Goomba fallacy? I would bet money that there are people who would. There are people. Let me not say this is the same people. Let me say this. There are people who would say if you don't watch the cutscenes, you're not playing the game, and say that if you watch a playthrough, you're not playing the game. I will bet money that there are people like that exist. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. I wouldn't say that. I won't say that's majority. I won't say that's everybody. I'll say there are people like that. But what I will say is that I do think I don't think most people watch a game and say they played it. I don't think that's majority of people. I don't think that's majority of people. Yeah. So I don't think it's like a real issue. I know some people like to say the Persona 5 fan base doesn't play the game. I wouldn't say that's most of the Persona 5 fan base. Maybe a disproportionate amount, but I wouldn't say that's like the majority. You know. Now I will say I don't think watching a game is the same as playing it, but I don't think it's like valueless. I'm not one of those people that's like um you're robbing yourself if you watch a game instead of playing it. I'm not one of those people. I would just call it something different. I'll just say you watch the game. Again, you don't know the game, but Yeah, it's just a different experience. It's not like a stupid thing to do. I don't think it's you're a bad person if you watch a game. Like that's fine. It's fine to do that. Like that. Those are the people that annoy me. That try to make it seem like, oh, if someone watches a game, like that side annoys me too. Where they're like, oh, you're stupid. I also wouldn't call someone who watched something and has no interest or inclination of, but that gets into, yeah, I wouldn't call them a fan either, but I wouldn't call them a fan either. But it's one of those things where when that conversation starts, I'm just like, okay, what harm is it doing for the mo for in this case? Now, if they extend that and start talking about like the quality of the game and entering certain conversations, that's when it becomes an issue. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, Burgundy. Yeah. So it's not really something that's causing harm or it's not like a disruptive issue. So it's not something I like care much about. I don't really care for like those types of conversations. They're like, "Oh, you're a fan, you're not a fan." Like, "Okay, what's this doing for us? Like what are we gaining from this?" Like, "Okay, you're not you're a fan," or "Okay, you're not a fan. What now? What do we do now?" Like that's half of these video game conversations online. It's like, "Okay, what now?" All right, you play Metal Gear Solid out of order. Now what? Do you go to jail or yeah, I don't like that's Burgundy. That's the part that like annoys me is when people start getting into that accessibility shit, and I'm like, uh, y'all are just trying. Y'all are using those people as a shield. People are poor though. But all right, y'all. This was cool. I'm gonna see y'all next week. I've been taking my time with this video, man. But April is for sure when it's gonna come out. I'm like 25% in now. Got to go to sleep. Got work tomorrow. Concert tomorrow. Thank y'all for coming through. Peace.